I'm going to be starting some seeds today, so I wanted to take you along. So I'm going to start some brassicas and some cool season crops in this 50 cell, and I just scoop it. Now I use this 50 cell because that's what I was used to at the farm, and it's a good size because then you don't really have to step it up. So I just fill it up, move it around, make sure all the cells are full. I kind of have a little too much, and then I tap it down. And it's really important to kind of tap it down and to make sure the soil is not too moist. If it's too moist, it just kind of clumps up and makes it hard to really fill the cells. So again, I just move it around, fill it up, tap it down, and you're ready to go. Now, again, it's really important to make sure your hands are dry and clean. And let's see. I was going to start a little bit more cabbages. So this is a Savoy cabbage and then a Napa cabbage. And these are little round seeds. All brassica seeds kind of look the same. And then, then I take, you can take a Sharpie or you can take your finger. And then I'm going to take my finger and just make little indents. And you see as I'm kind of shaking back and forth, and it just kind of widens the hole a little bit. You don't want it too deep because the protocol is you only want to do them twice, plant them twice deep as the seed is. So you want to make sure it's not too deep. And I'm actually just going to do 5 of these cells, and I put 2 seeds in just to make sure that at least one of them will germinate. Then the next row is I'm going to put the Napa. And I just kind of pinch it, and then I kind of just pinch a couple of seeds, and then I kind of just give my kind of pointy finger a twist, and you can kind of control. And then I'm just going to kind of line them up here, and I'll make stakes or labels for them afterwards. Okay, so the next one is kale. Kale is one of my favorites, so I have 4 different ones here, and I think I will do this new one, Dazzling Blue, and then this one we call a dinosaur kale. And again, I'm just going to do 1 row of these. I actually already have some started. Maybe I'll show you guys in the greenhouse and how I have some already coming up. But I wanted to start a little bit more because I felt like I just didn't have enough. So I like to start lots of seeds, and I will give them to my neighbors. I will sell some to in the area. And just because I have a small garden, but I really enjoy growing, and a lot of these varieties you wouldn't be able to get in the store, so I just like to offer it to people in the area. Okay, then the next one. So I'm going to do 2 Swiss chard because they have not been wanting to come up. And yeah, I just checked to see how old my seeds are. They're not old. So actually what I'm going to do with these Swiss chard is I'm going to put 2 in each corner. And then you see that I kind of alternate. And that way, if both of these come up, I can step them up. And they'll have plenty of space to kind of get big enough till I can step them up. When you just put like 2 seeds in the center, I usually just will pinch one off. When I put them in the corner, you can kind of save them. Some collards. Again, I'm just going to do 1 row. So I've already kind of started some, but I just wanted to have a little bit more. Okay, and then I'm going to do spinach. And again, I'm going to do them in the corners. And these are a little bit bigger seeds, so I am going to put a little indent. And I'm going to do it across from each other because, again, I've had a little bit of a hard time with the spinach coming up. So I'm going to put them across from each other, hoping that, you know, if I get both of them come up, I can transplant them or step them up. And this is a good thing, you know, like I said, I already started some cool season, you know, early spring crops, and not all of them came up as well as I would have liked them. My greenhouse is new, so I'm still trying to figure out how to use it. It is not in the best spot, but that was really the only spot I could put it in. So I'm making do. Okay, so that tray is all filled. I'll grab some soil and I just kind of sprinkle it. Sprinkle some on top, pat it down, and then I am going to get some labels. Okay, so I use wooden labels. Again, you know, I just try to stay away from plastic as much as possible. And then I will write, this one I'll just write spinach because, and then the date on the back, because I'm only growing one type of spinach, so I don't really need to know the variety. And then cabbage, sometimes I'll abbreviate and then put Savoy. And the date on the back. And it's crazy that this first month is already gone in this year. So again, and then I will put Napa, and then the kale, Now the thing with labels is some people will write all the labels out first, so then they have it all. As you see, as I kind of lay out the packages to kind of help me, give me a reference. Sometimes that can be tricky because they can blow away. So it's not always the best thing to do. But there we go. And I write all the labels out. I'll set all these aside knowing that I started these. And that is tray number 1. Now, okay, here's my second tray. I'm going to do kohlrabi. Kohlrabi are one of my favorite, and it's super hard to get it in the supermarket, so or even at the farmer's market. So I'm trying to grow more. And kohlrabi kind of tastes like a broccoli stem. So here I'm starting some fennel. The thing about fennel is that it's so easy to grow, and it's so easy, it reseeds itself. I only like it a little bit, so I don't plant too many of that. Okay, so I do have a bunch of flowers and beets and some herbs. So I'm going to do a little bit of parsley. I feel like, now this is enough parsley for like the whole city. I don't know why I ended up with so much of it. But seeds are really small. And I will sprinkle some in. I will do 2 rows because everybody could use some parsley. And it's something that you can really grow all year round here. Now with the beets, I am going to grow them in kind of clusters. So I'm going to make the hole pretty big in the center, and I'm going to start like 4 or 5 seeds, and then I will plant these out when they're pretty small. And then when you can harvest them at different sizes. So the first one might be the size of a golf ball, and then they can get go up from there. Can you hear the chickens? They are very upset that I have locked them up. But if I don't, they scratch around in the rocks and it's so loud. So that was some golden beets. And then I'm going to do these long red beets. And then again, big hole. These are big seeds. I'm going to put 4 or 5 seeds in there. Okay, so I wanted to show you how I am going to start the onions. Now, I just have this flat tray. I'm flattening out the soil And again, I'm starting with a good seed starting mix. And it has, this is the brand that I use. It is cocoa peat. It has compost, bone meal, oyster lime, kelp, and castings. So it has everything to really get the seedlings and seeds off to a good start. So with the onions, I'm going to make a little trench, not too deep. These are Walla Wallas. They're just a big, nice yellow kind of storing onion. And actually, I'm not even going to need all that. So I'm only going to need half of that because there wasn't that much in there. And then I just sprinkle it in there. Now onions can be sown pretty close together, right on top of each other, because they, when I transplant them, I will pull them apart. So then I just kind of pinch the trench close, tap it down. I'm going to put it here. Okay. And then what I was going to do here with the mixed greens, and actually on this side I can do the arugula. Now arugula is super tiny, so I am not even going to make a trench. I just kind of push it down, make a little indent. Seeds are like super tiny. And then you just sprinkle them in there. Now, this was probably 150 seeds right here. And then I will barely cover them. Pat it down. Okay. And then this mixed greens. And it actually doesn't say what's in it, but I did it earlier in the year and it was like bok choy and mustard greens. I mean, they look like little brassica seeds. And I'm going to kind of make it flat. And I am just going to kind of sprinkle the seeds all over on this half. Because what I'll do is when it's time to plant them out, I will set them out in like little clumps. So I'll sew it pretty heavy because this will be the last time I start them this year. And then I will just very lightly sprinkle some of the soil mixed on top. Okay. And again, I will water this from underneath. This is what I'm talking about, watering them from underneath, and then just to be super careful that they aren't swimming. So this is them almost about to start swimming. But this is watering them from underneath. So this tray here, I ordered it by mistake, and it's actually for aquaponics, but I have it and I don't want it to go to waste. I was very upset that it was styrofoam, but I couldn't return it, so I'm going to make the best out of it. I'm going to fill up these cells, and this is where I'm going to plant the flowers. So what I decided this year, in the front where the raised beds is, by the walkway, I have this little strip that I have succulents in, but I'm going to take out some of the succulents and put flowers in there. So I'm going to start some flowers now. There's probably way more flowers than I'm going to need in there, but I will give the ones I don't put in there away. So again, I'm just going to tap it down. Make sure they're all filled. Now, I do not know very much about flowers, but I just picked some that I kind of know. These are hollyhocks, and actually these are these really dark ones. My grandma had them when I was growing up, so I was like, I'll give them a try. They're really tall ones. The seeds are actually pretty big. And I will still put a couple of seeds in, and when they germinate, I will like pinch one off. But these will be beautiful. And then the next one, I got these, another set of hollyhock, and these are kind of in a pastel color. Now, we did grow some hollyhocks at the farm, and there's something that they're super easy to save the seeds. And they re-sow themselves. So like with my grandma, they just kind of kept on coming up in the same spot. Okay, then the next one are bachelor buttons. And these ones, I'm trying to see how tall they get. These are bachelor buttons, and they get about 2 to 3 feet tall. So again, I'm going to put a pretty decent amount of seeds in there, and then I will thin it out. Up. So here are little fennels. These are little Napa cabbages. This is spinach. And then the rest of these are different brassicas, and kind of at this stage they all kind of look the same. And then here is some more brassicas that are a little younger. So these are kohlrabi, and then some cabbages. And then as you see, this is the soil blocks, and then these are the 50 cells. So this is what I have growing right now in my greenhouse. I wanted to thank you for watching this video, and come back again because I'll probably show you how these guys are doing and how they're coming up. If you have any questions or comments, write them and I will take the time to look at them. Thank you.